Good morning. This is PIN-227, Section 1 on July the 8th, 2020. And today's topic is going to be the S ending, right? The S ending that we can find, for example, when we pluralize nouns, when we say, for example, table, tables, cat, cats, dog, dogs, right? The S ending when we find in when we use verbs in third person singular, right? Present tense, such as watch, watches, play, plays, catch, catches, talk, talks, right? And even the S ending you can find in, for example, genitive, like Mike's car, Gina's party, etc., etc. All right. So that's the topic for today's lesson. So I would like to share with you this chart in which you can find three endings: is, s, and z. The first one goes with sibilant endings of words. Right. We're going to see what sibilant is, voiceless endings, and voiced endings as well. First, we're going to watch the video, and then we're going to.
So, pronunciation lesson for you today. Quite a long one and a few rules to remember. We're looking at the pronunciation of S. Now, that might seem like quite a simple thing, but actually, did you know that for plural nouns and third person S, we have three pronunciations? S, Z, and is. Now, important to note that when we add is to the end of a plural noun or a third person verb, we actually add an extra syllable. Okay, now, so the important thing is to try and not to add an extra syllable where you don't need one. First rule, guys, the pronunciation of is. We would add the extra syllable is when we are saying S to verbs or plural nouns that end in s, z, sh, ch, and j. So, for example, kiss, kisses, buzz, buzzes, finish, finishes, watch, watches, teach, teaches, judge, judges. So there you can hear that the single syllable then became two. Now, voiced consonants. We add z rather than s or is to the end of a plural noun or third person S when the verb ends in the sounds b, d, g, v, the, l, m, n, and a funny one for you, Okay, you don't have to make the funny face like me, but try it now. Now, where do we have that sound in English? Well, think about it. Song, sing. So, for example, we would say sings, not singies, or sings, sings, and songs. So we've got the noun and the verb there. Another example might be mother, mothers, or claim, claims. I'm going to look at a few more examples with you in just a minute. Finally, the pronunciation of s. Now that is what we would think S would sound like. So when we add s, we add it to the end of verbs or nouns that end in any other voiceless consonant. For example, p, t, k, f, or th. Quite easy. Let's think of some examples. Weights, trips, kicks, or even months. There we go. So, pretty simple, but quite a few sounds to remember there. Some examples for you now, guys. Let's see if you can match the sound s, z, or is with the verb or noun. First one, catch, catches, laugh, laughs, dress, dresses, dog, dogs, bed, beds, wish, wishes, beach, beaches, kick, kicks, pig, pigs, grab, grabs, sing, sings, and finally plate, plates. Now, you'll notice that sometimes s and z, the difference is minimal, so don't worry too much about that one. Pay attention to the rule for adding is. Remember, if the verb or the noun ends in the consonant sound s, z, sh, ch, or j, then you add is.
Them, okay? So that's the general theoretical explanation. Now, in the following slide, you can find websites for practice, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste them in the chat so you can take a look at them and you can practice, because the idea is that you on your own practice with these websites because they provide feedback in the end. So I'm copying now and pasting the websites in the chat room where you can find them. Okay, here they go. Now I'm going to show you one of those websites or a couple of them. So you can see what you are going to find. Okay, I think I'm going to copy and paste them from the chat room. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is one of the websites that you can find in the chat room, right? So if you scroll down, you're going to see some exercises such as number one here, he swims, she talks, and watches, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so if you keep going in the second part of this exercise, you're going to find a couple of words that you need to include in one of the specific columns, right? Be z or is. Okay, so you classify these words depending on the final sound for this. And there's a third exercise, which is choose the alternative, the best answers is each option. And you see number one, a word pronounced with this sound. So you have to choose between these three options. Okay, that's one website. The other website that I think I'm sharing with you is this one. Again, pronunciation of z and is. Okay, a bit of explanation, but right here you have another exercise. Chips, boys, mixed daughter, right, etc., etc. Scroll down, you can check your answers. Okay, that's the second website. The third website is the following. Again, the same topic, short video. And here you have the exercises. Okay. For this one, there are 20 exercises, and then you check the answers. And finally, the last one is this one, which includes some sort of explanation at the very beginning. And this is not an exercise in which you can check your answers in the end, but the idea is that you can go and take a look if they are pronounced in the end with a voiceless, a voiced z, or an extra syllable is. Okay, so the idea is you can practice them on your own individually, right? And you after you practice, you can record yourself, or we can check the answers next class. Okay, so this exercise is for you. As you see, you have 4 websites to practice, And the idea is that you go over them and that you practice on your own first, so we can review the exercises next class. The other one that I want you to practice with is one of these, okay, that we're going to be doing next class. We're going to be practicing with a dialogue, okay, in which we're going to listen to speakers using third person singular in a couple of dialogues, okay? So, considering that it's 1 hour for today, that's going to be the last part of this lesson. Remember, go to these websites and do the exercises so we can take a look at them next class. Next class, we're going to see these isolated words in a larger context, so we can actually see them in a sentence, and what's even more challenging, in a dialogue. So please work on these, and unfortunately we cannot provide instant feedback now, but some of the websites can give you feedback. That's a good thing. Okay, so next time that I'll see you, we're going to be preparing listening to dialects, okay, to practice listening and speaking. So that's all for now. Thank you so much. I know this is a short video, but you're required to do some practice on your own first before we move on to the next stage. Okay, so that's all for today. Goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope that will help you a little bit with your pronunciation. Don't forget to subscribe to Love English. Look forward to seeing you soon.
All right, let me share again. Don't forget to subscribe, right? So